Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
This town needs an enema.
Greetings, infidels.
I was
You got a
wondering.
real red dwarf vibe going off there.
I need that H.
No, you'd be Holly the computer, not Rimmer the hologram.
Oh, Dan, did you notice the new feature of StreamYard?
Not yet.
When you create a new broadcast, it creates an event on Facebook.
Really?
Now that I would not notice, not having spent an awful lot of time on Facebook here lately.
But it creates an event. Maybe it'll help us bring more people in.
Well, I just sent an invite to.
Richard?
No, not Rich. Somebody does need to pop him into the regular group, though, since he's become one of our.
I've already
Family.
done that. He should have already got the email.
One of us.
Mm-hmm. No, one of the Matthews from the Green Room expressed interest in watching the show and maybe popping into Last Man Standing.
Oh, okay.
But I figured I'd send him a link here so he could see what the insanity was like before he committed to it, or got committed, one way or the other.
Yeah.
This is Avatar. Oh, never mind. I was looking at some of the StreamYard controls. And edit audio avatar.
Hey, there's Rich.
It's a Rich.
Hello, Rich.
Hello. I didn't realize that was a standing invite. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
It was a sitting invite.
Is he not in the Facebook group? Little Facebook Messenger group we did?
Yeah, that's actually where I just clicked from.
Yeah, I added him last week.
Oh, that reminds me.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we have a Facebook Messenger group with all the regular crew, and every time Joe puts up a link to this, you click on it, and it'll bring you over to the StreamYard page.
Takes you straight in.
Yes. But you have to know the super secret squirrel name to get into it.
Yeah.
It's the stupid o'clock secret society.
A squirrel.
Yeah.
I
That
actually
handshake
use
is-
Super Secret Squirrel on a regular basis in my professional life. Whenever we have brand new partners that are joining from other law firms that we're not allowed to talk about until they actually show up.
So you refer to them as Super Secret Squirrel?
Yes.
I want that on the. If I ever win the lottery and have an office, that's what I want on the door. My title, John Scarborough, Secret Squirrel.
Shouldn't be
And a-
difficult
and
to
a
do.
bronze and a life-size bronze statue of Squirrel Girl.
That
What,
could
Secret
create
Squirrel?
some confusion. Secret Squirrel Girl. Or Secret Squirrel Girl fan.
John, you know I can make that happen.
What, winning the lottery?
No,
Or a bronze statue of Squirrel Girl?
no. Your name being Secret Squirrel.
I can do that here too. You probably misspelled squirrel. Joe, squirrel's not spelled with a K.
Just think if he was trying to spell Morocco mole.
I think Morocco's not that hard. It's only 6 letters.
You just, well, you got to have all the R's in it.
Well, I mean, you just throw some extras in there. It doesn't hurt.
7 letters.
Well, on the pet sitting situation, the cat was reclaimed over the weekend. So we are down to just the puppy dog. And the puppy dog is getting along just fine, beginning to behave a bit more genially rather than jumping up on everybody because she's so excited. But
She just can't hide it.
yes, to that sounds like a good song lyric. Let me write that down. She did knock over the baby gate that keeps her out of the hallway in the bedroom. Evidently, the last time that Lindsay undid it, she missed the tensioning notch by one little notch. So
He
it
knocked the gate down.
yep. The dog was only, well, seriously, the dog is only staying on that side of the baby gate by her own free will. She could knock the damn thing over or jump over any time.
We
That's what our dog is.
we had this plastic baby gate that was one of the bigger ones, and it came with cleats that you could put on the wall. They were either glue in place or you could screw them in place. And then you could drop the baby gate into the cleats.
Ah, yes.
So you couldn't knock it out unless you lifted up on it. Of course, dogs have trouble lifting up things. Tearing them down, they're good at.
We got the baby gate for our dogs that has the walk-through door,
Lindsay's looking into that, actually.
and the problem is our blue tick beagle mix in flat 5 foot vertical. So
Not surprised a bit.
so keeping her
Mom
in
had
the
Mom had that
Keeping
problem
her-
with the full-size poodle. Well, he was a cute little thing when she got him. Then he started eating. It's bigger than a German Shepherd in like 2 months.
Well, that's what this one is. And she stands about thigh high anyway. So if she tried a vertical leap, she'd probably hit her head on the ceiling. I've had other dogs her size that on the farm they'd be out next to a field of wheat or something, and just kind of sneak on out in there, and you could see him kangaroo hopping chasing rabbits through the field. I mean, you would not believe a dog could go shoulder high from a standing start, but they can, especially if they're knee high or taller to start with. And this is a very energetic dog. Um, she is calming down. She is calming down. So um, her family is hoping to get the situation resolved so they can come and get her. It's going to just take time. Um, spent all day today waiting on a guy that does some yard work for my mom to come by and talk to me about what I need to do when I replace the water heater. But evidently he got tied up in something else and didn't show up when he said he was going to. And we have not the faintest idea. He said he was going deer hunting, and it's not deer season. So I'm going, did the game warden catch you out in the deer stand and lock you up?
He may have been meaning he was headed to the bar.
Nope. Nope.
Maybe he was going to buy a new John Deere tractor.
No. He ain't got that kind of money. Had to win the lottery for one of them.
Get them at Lowe's.
Oh, yeah, you can get a lawnmower at Lowe's. You can't get a tractor at Lowe's. You got to go to Livonia for that.
Well, thank you, Michaela and Brian, for liking the show.
Oh, well. Thank you
Of
very
course,
much.
Brian loves the show, so.
Yeah, it makes him look good. Sorry.
Hey.
Hey, Rich and Matthew kept me up till 4 a.m. in the green room last night. I'm still in zinger mode. I apologize profusely.
Well, hell, look at all 5 of us. Brian is better looking than we are.
Speak for yourself, Kimasabi.
We
Hey,
got
Rob.
home from the auction last night, and it was about 10:30, 11:15. I figured everybody was gone from the green room, so I never did even try.
It was down to the 3 of us there fairly early because Carl and Donna had a trip they had to drive to something. I forget exactly which at the moment. And then we got all philosophical and whatnot afterwards. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank
The
God
pendulum
we
kept
don't do
swinging
that
back
here.
and forth between philosophy and our usual tomfoolery.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, tomfoolery. I'd almost forgotten how much fun that is. One of these days, Tom's going to get mad at us and punch us in the face, but you know, I dodge quickly.
He's a fool. He'll never find out.
Hey, and Rich is too tall for him to. Well, might get a bruised kneecap.
Oh, get out of my head. And if you're going to stay there, stay out of the green filing cabinet.
Oh, what's in these orange files?
I'm rolling oranges.
Oh Lord.
The sad thing is I actually have mental categories that are color-coded, and I'm like, what is under orange right now?
Stuff I don't need to read, let me tell you. Heavens. In any case, tomorrow looks like it's going to be a day. Oh, that's the MySpace guy, ain't it?
That's Tom from MySpace. And he's upset that you were referring to him as tomfoolery.
I wasn't referring to him at all. You know, it's not an uncommon name.
I thought it kind of looked like the guy that lost all the weight on the Subway commercial or whatever, and then
Jared.
Jared, yeah, kind of got in trouble a little later on.
No, not kinda. Not kinda.
Not kinda. He got in some
That's
serious
full
trouble.
on. Oh yeah.
Really? That was something that there was some backlash about that.
I was inserting satire.
It ain't. Well, it is Saturday, so satire is called for.
Apparently, Tom from MySpace, he wound up selling the MySpace rights to Google, I think. But he's worth $100 million as of 2006.
I thought MySpace, all the
Actually,
everything went to someplace in Russia.
As of 2020, he is worth $60 million.
He could be bankrupt now.
What is the text over John? Well, let me do this. Scroll all the way down. Well, it's not on there anymore.
What do you mean it's not on there anymore?
When you go into myspace.com, there's actually an option for you to sign up using Facebook.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Let's
see if this works.
Jeez.
Let's see if this works. So yeah, that worked. It is not That's Armageddon.
Apocalypse Now meets Star Wars.
Apocalypse Now. Yes, thank you.
For some reason, I see Yoda. You know, all the Jedi are shot up and getting ready to be slaughtered, and all of a sudden somebody goes, "Look!" And Air Cav Yoda shows up with the cavalry. Only thing he didn't have was a surfboard.
Oh Lord! You got to admit, when I get a dyslexic moment, it's funnier than most of my regular stuff I try and plan to say. So,
Droid armies don't serve.
Oh, John, did you see that our friend Kelly Lockhart posted, his morning questions?
Yes.
What is your favorite smell? My response was napalm, but only in the morning.
And I bet 90% of everybody else said bacon.
There was a lot of bacon in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody liked my response.
Well, yeah.
I'd have to say cinnamon.
Coffee. Coffee.
Coffee's
Yeah,
good.
now that one I can really identify with. Woke up this morning and Lindsay had used the coffee press to make real coffee instead of the instant stuff or the K-cup. So I had 3 cups of really good coffee this morning. She asked me, "You want me to make another one?" I go, "Honey, if you make me another one, I'm not going to sleep till Thursday."
Why does the coffee have mushrooms in it? That's not coffee. That's gravy.
On our Chicago trip Thursday, we stopped off at Trader Joe's in Orland Park, and of course they're having all their fall foods and different products out with 5,000 different things that have pumpkin spice and all that. But one of the things that I actually picked up that is very good is the Trader Joe's. It's a light roast coffee, but it's a maple flavored coffee, and it's a very good flavor. It's very smooth. It's not too sweet or anything. And I actually enjoyed some of that this morning, but everything else, I don't get into pumpkin spice much anything. I like pumpkin bread and things like that. But,
well, last year pumpkin spice went way too damn far. Pumpkin spice candy corn. Stay in your damn lane, pumpkins.
Now, one of the local sporting goods stores was advertising pumpkin spice ammo for deer season.
Yes, I believe Winchester actually has a pumpkin spice.
put off a scent.
It's one of their hollow point rounds with the plastic tip.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what Winchester calls it, but apparently the plastic tip does in fact smell like pumpkin spice.
That's just the C4. Although John could tell us what C4 actually smells like.
Now, I can understand pumpkin spice mellow creams because they're already pumpkin shaped.
Yeah.
But the candy corn, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, stay in your damn lane. Of course, somebody also posted up a picture. They now got candy corn flavored syrup. Just add your own candles.
Here lately, I think all that stuff tastes like wax, and I used to love it growing up. You know, we'd all have to, Mom, a bag of Brock's candy corn or mellow creams, or the Indian corn one was the one that we liked because it had chocolate in with it. But I had some a couple of years ago. I think it was the last time I ever ate any of that, and it just tasted like wax to me. It didn't. My taste probably changed, or they changed the formula.
Well, our taste buds are ever evolving, so it's a very good possibility of column A, column B.
Rich, Keisha's here. Wave.
Hi.
Keisha.
Oh.
You said you haven't been on Facebook lately? Fritz adopted a chicken.
I have been seeing that.
Well, no, he didn't adopt a chicken. It just moved in.
Watching football with him. So
knowing
watching
Fritz
football
and
with him.
Stacy.
Yeah, he was watching football with him.
What naming convention did they use for the wandering chicken?
Tiger, the war chicken.
They named him after their football team.
Oh, okay. That's a much safer option than what I secretly feared. Could have been anything, but
they started a little small backyard chicken coop, and this chicken just showed up, and they got it quarantined. But the quarantine bird has free run of the yard, while the ones not in quarantine are caged up.
Now, what was the reason to check it out to make sure it doesn't have West Nile or anything like that?
Bird flu.
Yeah,
bird flu.
COVID.
Yep, and
West Nile COVID.
I don't think their place is big enough. Well, yeah, it probably is. Yeah, it doesn't take that much room for chickens.
They've got almost a full acre.
Yeah. So you could have free range chickens there, if there's not much traffic nearby, or you've got a fence around the yard. Chickens can fly; they just don't enjoy it much.
Well, everything in the world can fly. One direction.
In one direction, yes. That's like all mushrooms are edible once.
Once.
I didn't know it, but turkeys could fly.
Oh yeah. I've actually
Say
seen.
it. Say it.
Yeah. They can. Also they don't like it much, but they're perfectly capable. Um, One of the places that we had to go to uh, when we're still before we had the farm, we had to use the county landfill the next county over. That's where we were living. We couldn't go, anywhere else. Along the driveway to the landfill was a huge population of domestic and some wild turkeys living together in harmony, which was weird. And
Oh, cool, Rob.
you drive down the road, and they would fly up into a tree. Even the big fat ones that you would think that ain't getting airborne without dynamite. Yeah. Like I said, they didn't like it, and they complained about it a lot. They didn't write letters to the congressman, but they'd still complain. You could hear them complain. But
Well, the thing about the turkeys flying, my dogs found out the hard way, and then they doubled back on them.
My wife's car found out the hard way. Shortly after we got the Equinox, it was the only vehicle we had running. I actually had to go to the office, but Misty had a bunch of running she had to do, so she took me to work that morning. And then her and Crow, my youngest, picked me up after work at the bus station. And apparently on their way to pick me up, something was chasing a turkey. So the turkey was actually in flight and hit the front quarter panel of the car.
Did you have free turkey dinner?
No, the turkey survived.
Oh,
the car was totaled, but the turkey survived.
Actually, no, the turkey hit it just right so that the turkey ended up glancing up and going up and over the hood.
Oh.
Where I used to live, we had tons of wild turkeys every year for a long time, and we had a lot of coyotes, which always made me a little concerned for the turkeys. But yeah, they could fly up into a tree and get away from them, I'm quite certain. I've seen them fly up in a tree, not for that reason, but I don't know what they were doing. Covert turkey operations, whatever, but yeah, they can get up there.
Take me back to Constantinople. Won't you take me back to Constantinople?
Yes. Wasn't there a
Long turkey.
story about
Nobody knows but the
people
turks.
testing airplane windshields? They had this air cannon they were putting
Frozen
dead
chickens.
turkeys in and shooting them
They have
at
two of
the
them. They have a small one and a large one.
well,
Small one
and
shoots, the small one shoots turkeys, and the small one shoots chickens. The big one shoots turkeys, and they use them to test aircraft parts.
the airplanes kept losing until somebody told them maybe they should thaw the turkeys out first.
Well, the story goes NASA developed this bird cannon. The British
Canadian.
borrowed it. Was it the Canadian? Oh, I heard
Canadian.
British. And they kept falling. Birds kept flying through the windshield. They contacted NASA, gave them the data. NASA came back with thaw the turkeys out first. That's the story. Yeah, but yeah, that's
Okay. Hang on a minute. Chicken cannon on Snopes.
Oh, like we really need to know whether or not it's true.
Apparently,
It's a good story.
British train engineers were supposedly received help from the FAA about the proper use of a chicken launcher.
oh, so it was British.
Snopes has it listed as a legend.
And then MythBusters did it and was blowing the birds clean out the back of a Cessna
apparently there was a recent one where they were using it to test a high-speed train in Britain. Which, train can move, 120, 150 miles an hour, whatever.
British trains haul freight.
They do.
As well as passengers, but, they move rapidly fast.
The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has a unique device for testing the strength of windshields on airplanes. The device is a gun that launches a dead chicken at a plane's windshield at approximately the speed the plane flies. The theory is that if the windshield doesn't crack from the carcass impact, it'll survive a real collision with a bird during flight. It seems the British were very interested in this and wanted to test a windshield on a brand new, speedy locomotive they're developing. They borrowed the FAA's chicken launcher, loaded the chicken, and fired. The ballistic chicken shattered the windshield, broke the engineer's chair, and embedded itself in the back wall of the engine's cab. The British were stunned and asked the FAA to recheck the test to see if everything was done correctly. The FAA reviewed the test thoroughly and had one recommendation: use a thawed chicken.
Meanwhile, the executives at Tyson is going, yes, yes.
I love this bit. The chicken gun, also known as the chicken cannon, the turkey gun, or the rooster booster.
That's the best one.
I like that name.
It was used for the chicken ingestion test, one of a series of stress tests required to a new jet engine design so they can be certified. They operate the engines at full speed, and the cannon uses compressed air to shoot the chicken carcasses into the turbine at 180 miles per hour.
I think that would be cheating, Rob.
The Air Force is known to launch its poultry projectiles at 400 miles per hour into F-16 canopies.
Well, Sarah's asking if
ever let
this
us
is
know
a
what they make
4-pound
F-16 windshields out of, I won't have to worry about gravel coming out of a dump truck on the highway.
Especially you've got that 20 millimeter cannon in the nose of your car.
Hey, no. That would make 285 too much fun.
It wouldn't. No.
John, Sarah wants to know if that was a 4-pound chicken they used.
I believe there are actually two different ones, and it doesn't. I've been looking. It doesn't say anything about the weight.
Yeah, you said small and large, but I didn't know.
Hey,
size-wise.
Yep, 4-pound chicken, 35-pound turkey.
Well, the average turkey is about 15 pounds. So.
Yeah, well, I'm just off the top of my head saying something that sounded ridiculous. Thank you for ruining the joke, John.
Well, no, I when you do stuff like this, actually, the factual truth is a lot more funny than anything you can make up about this. I mean, let's face it, calling the thing the rooster booster is hilarious. Okay?
Yes, it is.
And then some.
SpaceX is going to steal that term for their next launch.
Hey.
Okay, there is a NASA chicken gun. And
what, they launch it at orbital velocities?
Thank you, Keisha.
What did Keisha say? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the.
Keisha gave us a little heart of love.
Oh, that's sweet.
I sent her an invite just in case she.
Oh, this is
just in case Dolores has already gone to sleep tonight.
The first chicken gun was built in 1942 by the U.S. Civil Aeronautics Administration and Westinghouse Electronic and Manufacturing Company.
Okay.
I just interested to know who actually built the damn thing. It's kind of like those NASA crawlers. They were built like some company up in Sheboygan or something. Um,
Well, the NASA crawler is in motion right now, taking the Artemis back to the shed.
So
are they not keeping it out there?
No,
They're worried about the hurricane, or
hurricane. Yep, I would be too. Now,
Which one? I know that one was downgraded to a tropical storm a couple days ago.
Ian.
Oh, Ian. Okay.
But
Ian's
now
right.
this is the thing. This is the thing that gets me about the NASA, about the Artemis launch pad, crawler launch pad. Excuse me.
oh, and to answer the question, the first one, the old 1942 version, shot a 4-pound turkey or 4-pound chicken. Excuse me.
The Artemis 1 launcher, they paid $1 billion to build this thing. And it's only going to be able to fly this one rocket. They've got to build another. They're in the process of building another one for the next version of Artemis to launch next time.
Oh, and that was the original one. The newer, there's 2 of them. The newer guns actually have replaceable barrels of varying sizes so that you can use different size birds.
I wonder what a hummingbird would do at 413 miles an hour.
flight.
You know,
Hummingbirds around here travel that fast.
Hey, Joe, here's a good one for you. Guess where they keep these things?
Where?
AEDC Ballistic Range S3 at Arnold Engineering Development Complex in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
So they could. So Tullahoma could lob chickens at Chattanooga.
Can
Pretty
down,
much.
can you imagine driving down the interstate one day? Somewhere near the S3 range? And
Well, you know, they used to have those T-shirt launchers that you would shoot T-shirts out into the crowd. I think this would be better.
I had to fix a couple of those.
Launching chickens into the crowds.
Hey,
Or turkeys, maybe around Thanksgiving.
The old Acme building in Tennessee.
WKRP all over again.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to greatly modify the design for a Ozzy Osbourne concert. I mean, seriously, if you want a bat launcher.
Oh, here's a good one. During the development of the Boeing 757 in the 1970s, the cockpit roof was subjected to a bird strike test wherein a 4-pound chicken was fired at 360 knots into a stationary cockpit. To the surprise of the Boeing engineers, the chicken penetrated the skin of the aircraft. As a result, the cockpit of the 757 and that of the 767, which shared the same design, had to be reinforced. Then they had to recall several 767s that were already in service to have them retrofitted with bird armor.
At those kind of speeds, anything solid. I mean, seriously, we've run into this with spaceships having to endure micrometeorite impacts. You get something moving fast enough, it doesn't matter how much it weighs or how solid it is or what it's made of. A snow cone moving at orbital velocity would still be quite a solid object.
Here's an interesting one, Joe.
What?
After the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster in 2003, the chicken gun at AEDC Ballistic Range S3 was repurposed to test the resistance of various components of the shuttle orbiter and launch fuel tanks to impacts from insulating foam. The intent was to discover the exact cause of the disaster and establish whether any modification to the shuttle were required.
Which was a bunch. Yeah, Rob asked the question, have you ever seen the cartoon where Batman's having a nightmare where Ozzy's biting his head off? I actually was thinking about it.
Still wonder, of course, that urban legend for a long time, but the actual truth in it all. Whether it was a real bat or a rubber bat.
No, it was a real bat. He thought it was a rubber bat, but it was a real bat.
Well, I've heard that story. But
he ended up having to have rabies shots.
I thought that was apocryphal, actually. I thought somebody had made it up.
No, it really happened. Somebody threw it up on stage. He thought it was a rubber bat and picked it up, bit the head off of it, and blood went everywhere. And he was like,
And I could be imagining this, and Carl or Donna might know. I was thinking that was a concert around our area here, somewhere in central Illinois, like not necessarily Champaign, but like Springfield or somewhere. But just in my head that I heard something to that nature where that actually happened, but I'm sure it could be Googled, but
seriously, I would not want to claim that I live in a state where somebody would bring a bat to a concert. I mean, this is a whole lot different from sneaking in a pint of liquor or something. I mean, you're smuggling in a bat to throw at the stage, and not a wooden one, a biological one. So this is a level of weird I had not contemplated before.
You know, back in 1976, the Who were touring, and they did a concert at Anaheim Stadium. And after their concert, marijuana plants started sprouting all over Anaheim Stadium.
Wouldn't doubt it a bit.
It was in Des Moines, Iowa.
Iowa, yeah. So it was the Midwest, I guess. But well, John, I bet Yasker's farm in Woodstock, he probably had a whole field of it.
Too much rain.
Yeah, really. The seeds rotted before they could germinate. Have you ever seen the amount of mud that was there? And there's a guy that used to work at the factory that actually attended Woodstock, the original Woodstock, not the upgraded new version. And his most horrible memory was the porta potty arrangement.
Hey, Zach, I sent you a link. It's on Discord.
Oh, yeah, okay. And his favorite memory was actually having a great time listening to the music. And he wasn't that far from the stage, but evidently he was close enough to the fringe of the audience to where he could actually get up and try and find the necessary when needed.
Yeah, we call that Bonnaroo now.
Oh,
I remember when I was watching the movie for Woodstock, and the weather was just starting to get bad and everything, and they had all these people up on the scaffolding and that they made up for around the stage, that they were just going on and on. You have to come down, you're going to get hit by lightning. And then of course they were worried about the stage being flooded and water getting in and electrocuting people. And
yeah, and that's with electrical musical instruments. That's entirely too easy to do. I remember one jam session where guy had his guitar plugged into a medium-sized amplifier, and the drop cord he was using, the patch cord, the guitar cord to the amplifier from the guitar, shorted out. And every time he touched the strings, sparks would fly. Needless to say, we retired that particular cord very quickly.
They used to have a barbecue festival here for the Kidney Foundation, and Kansas was playing, and they had this huge thunderstorm roll in, and there's nothing like hearing "Carry on My Wayward Son." Good night, everybody. I mean, mid-song. I mean,
Hey.
the loudest crack of thunder you've ever heard. And it's like, I mean, next thing they said was, "Good night, everybody," and they were gone.
Leaving the roadies to go out and get the equipment. It must be horrible to work as a roadie for some bands. I swear. You got to do all the work, load in, load out. The band gets all the fame, the fortune, and the girls.
First to come, last to leave, working for minimum wage.
Yep. Remember it well. Oh, that's one of Lindsay's favorites, actually. When we found the live version of Jackson Browne actually doing that, she just was absolutely fascinated with all the people in the band getting with it, just joining in and everything. There's one guy, the guy that does the falsetto voice when they switch to the refrain that sounds like the falsetto stuff from the 50s. Yeah. I do believe that is one of the guys from Three Dog Night. I've never been able to verify that because I can't find the name anywhere. I've Googled it time and time again, but the face is that familiar, and the guy from Three Dog Night had exactly the personality to volunteer to do the falsetto voice for that part. So I don't know. Could be just my imagination. I don't know.
Trying to stay awake, guys.
Can't had your B12.
I did. Have it in my vitamin water earlier today.
My B12 will be a week from next Friday.
Mine comes in a little bottle with a red label.
Mine comes in a needle.
Yeah, I kind of figured that one since it was scheduled.
Well, that's a little bit more intense. B12s that he has, your B12 will actually change. It'll actually come up.
To a degree, mine still hasn't come up in almost 2 years to where it should be. But gastric bypass lowers my intrinsic factor, so I don't absorb B12 from foods as much as I should. And then I'm on metformin for my diabetes, which either inhibits B12 absorption or leaches more B12 from my body. I know metformin and B12 have a really contentious relationship. So
Yeah, a love-hate relationship right there. Yeah.
I need it because of the low red and white blood cell counts that I have. The vitamin water will do the B12 part, but then I have to take iron and folic acid also to try to bring those counts up a little bit, which I guess they do help, but I would be on the lower side of normal would be the best way to describe it as of right now.
yeah, apparently my falling was because of my B12 was horrifically low. So low that on my way home from the doctor's office, after he got my results, he called me while I was still en route to the house. Yeah, we need to get you on this right away. I'm sending over the prescription because I have diabetic neuropathy to begin with. So from the knees down, I don't feel so much anymore. And then the B12 on top of that was just causing even further nerve damage. Because apparently B12 is very important for making sure that the sheath around your nerves stays healthy. Your B12 starts to leach too much, and it's kind of like an electrical wire, like we were just talking about. So it just starts shorting out, and just randomly, all of a sudden, my knees would be like, "Screw you," and gravity would take over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it strips away the insulation on the nerve.
Yeah, took me a year to get off the crutches.
That is one of the things that they discovered that polio does. It strips away the myelin sheath from the nerves, and nerves short out. Matter of fact, a guy I went to high school with was working on the swine version of polio for pig farmers because it was a problem. There were pigs with the non-human variety of polio, and he made a major discovery on how to treat that and everything at the University of Georgia. And I'm going, this guy played trombone with me in the high school band. I am so proud that he really went on to study something serious and actually contribute to what would you call it? Agricultural medicine, basically, I guess. Somebody
Right,
think of a better term. Yes.
Did you just say you played trombone in the high school band?
He did, yes. I played trumpet and French horn.
Okay.
Not at the same time.
Yeah, I played trombone in junior high. And then I realized I don't like practicing.
Yeah. Rich, you were talking about falling. Rephrase that from now on because I'm going to give you the phrase you need to say. You succumb to a gust of gravity.
What I used to say is I succumbed to the lust of gravity.
Yeah. Gravity visited Rich again today.
Gravity doesn't like me. Gravity loves me.
I'm reading the news. I was trying to find something interesting to talk about on the show. And Johnny Depp is apparently dating his former lawyer, Jolie Rich.
That's hearsay.
There are
Good
so
one,
many
Joe.
smart
Yes,
alecs
he
in
said
this
it here.
like, yeah, we heard him say it.
You like
You're
that
sitting in a
one?
restaurant sharing a mega pint of wine. Yeah.
A mega pint is.
I think Rich liked that one.
Yeah, considering I was extremely bored, so I had that playing in the background while I was working from home during the entirety of the trial, and I think it was 173 times in one day that word was used.
Oh, the best one is when the lawyer.
Objected to a question he asked. The lawyer asked a question, then objected to it, and the judge looked at him like,
Yes,
There
Your
was
Honor,
another
but it
good
was a
one.
stupid question. I just realized that.
The attorney said something, and then Johnny Depp just looked at Heard's attorney and said, "That's hearsay." That was my favorite part of the entire trial. Well, that and the fact that it was finally over and I can get back to my forensic files.
Mm. Mhm.
The dark-haired
Um,
lawyer.
Wasn't there a Cher song about that? Should have been.
Yes,
if
it
there
was
gypsies,
when
tramps, and thieves.
wasn't.
it was about the time her and Sonny Bono were breaking up.
Mm.
Which time?
And then
But
she
yeah, really,
started
which time? That was a
dating
recurring nightmare.
Greg Allman and Gene Simmons and everybody else.
Oh, I remember the joke from that. Please don't make me recite it.
You done brought it
Uh,
up. You got to say it now.
Stand up in front of the class, Daniel.
well, it's not something that I would be proud of in the green room, and it's definitely not risque. But it's, what was the exact wordage? Oh, look, it's Sonny and Cher. No, it's Greg and Cher. No, it's Cher and Cher alike.
Well, they had the Sonny
I'm
and
sorry,
Cher.
lady.
Their original show was the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour,
Hmm. I watched it first one.
and then she had Cher,
Mhm.
and Sonny actually had his own
Yeah.
briefly, and I can't remember the exact title, but obviously it had his name in it. But then they came back together, even though they wasn't together as a couple anymore, married couple or anything, but they came back together to do the show because they said, well, doing our separate shows wasn't as popular, and everybody did want to see them together. They kind of had that chemistry, that the comedic chemistry that worked as well as far as the singing and everything. And everybody loved when Chastity came out there at the end and they sang "I Got You, Babe" at the end of every episode. Well, then of course she was getting older, and but yeah, the second time around for Sonny and Cher with that show, I don't even think it lasted a season, if I'm correct.
I'm not sure, but didn't that lead directly to the Hudson Brothers show on Saturday mornings? Didn't they show up on? It was either Sonny and Cher, or maybe it was Donnie and Marie. I'm not sure. One of those variety shows, because there were so many. I mean, good grief! Everybody had a variety show.
Flip Wilson,
I used to watch
Don
the
Rickles,
Hudson Brothers Razzle
Davis.
Dazzle show.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, no, Sonny and Cher weren't a part of it. At least
I was thinking that they made they came on to somebody else's variety show and
Oh,
sang
maybe.
and did a couple of skits, and that led directly to their own show. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong, you know. Uh, I do walk with a cane sometimes, so get off Rich's lawn.
Get off my lawn, you little bastards!
Really? I don't remember where I put the landmines. Get off my lawn.
You have no idea how many times I've done that and yelled, "Get off my land, you little bastards!"
I remember on the Hudson Brothers Razzle Dazzle Hour, all the people who appeared on that. Of course, you had Rod Hull in his Amazing
emu. Yes, indeed.
And they named a couple other, a woman and another guy, which I don't think they ever did anything up to that point, and probably did nothing after that, at least in front of the camera.
Talk about Tony, Orlando, and Dawn.
Well, you know. But anyway, and then the other one that, you know, it showed as far as being on there, this says the bear. And it shows a guy in a bear suit. That was, but I liked where they went to talk to the president of the company, their boss, which he was like a 10-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always offer him a
some kind of candy,
cigar, bubble gum, or something like that. But
Licorice no thanks. Trying to cut down.
Yeah, they did that little thing. No, my all-time favorite thing that still cracks me up to this day is when they do the Chucky Margolis sketch. You had Bill sitting on a box or a crate or something outside of this tenement building, and you see this basement window kind of much alike that you would have seen on Laverne and Shirley, you know, where they lived. And it's Chucky Margolis, which was Brett Summers. Oh boy, that was wrong. Brett Hudson. And then his brother Mark, and I'm trying to think of the character that Mark played on that, but they were like little kids, and that, and Chucky was always beaten on the other one because the other one was telling on him or what have you. And the funniest one that I ever remember was when they went upstairs, because they lived in the basement. But when they went upstairs to where their parents were, that they had this great big huge thing they described as a glass jug with water in it, and they go on and on about how they're describing it, and you figure out Mom and Dad has a bong, and Chucky's saying, "Yeah, I took one drink of that, and I started seeing colors," and
had to fly up there and get him down. He's about half crazy.
But they would always end up Chucky kind of beating on the other one, and they would go down below the window and you wouldn't see him, and then he'd come back up and with his hand around his neck, and they'd go down again. Then you'd see his ball cap or ball glove flying up in the air, and it was just a real funny bit. And they did that everywhere. You can find them on YouTube still. I might have actually posted one of those in Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group before, and that. But they're very, very funny.
It's amazing what people are able to get away with 70s Saturday morning TV shows. Not just the cartoons, but the live action stuff as well. Oh, Bill, have you caught the live action Scooby-Doo that some fans are doing? They've only got a pilot episode out now, but they're working on a second episode. But they've got no budget. They're having to raise the money. It's incredible.
Is it kind of based on the original one, or just like the movies or whatever?
No. It's based on the actual original Scooby-Doo cartoon. They did update it towards a little bit of modern sensibilities, but it is absolutely fantastic. At least the pilot episode I've seen. It's okay. Think of Scooby-Doo cartoon, live action, done in the same vein as Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Kind of like what they did with Archie in
Yes, but much better.
Well, I hated I never did like Riverdale. I'm with the Bill here. That was sacrilege right there. It was nothing like it. I mean, and it's same way with this Rob Zombie doing the Munsters now. I thought it was going to be good and campy and that, but I mean, there's too much creative control that people want to put their little trademark on it.
Corpses, Rob Zombie doing the.
We don't know that yet.
No, from the.
No, I mean it might turn out that way.
Well,
I've got two friends that saw that already, and they said, "Don't go."
Yeah. Rob Zombie is a big fan of classic horror.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Ow! I'm back. I know. I see. Out the dogs, go. What? I got thousands of people watching me right now.
Minor exaggeration.
No, they're not. They're watching Rich.
Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the door, and there's all the people. That's your 1,000 people right there.
No, I downloaded a version of Scooby-Doo that, let's just say,
that one
wasn't licensed.
Most of them aren't that I've ever seen on YouTube with somebody doing.
I don't think you actually understand, Bill. This one was impossible to license.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's plenty of that.
It wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. It was a Saturday night cartoon.
It was very late Saturday night.
No, it was live action.
Hey, we resemble that remark.
And the thing about it is that okay, yeah, let's dress up like sexy Daphne or sexy Velma. And that cracks me up because Velma never was sexy. Daphne, yeah, I could see that.
Boy, you need glasses. You need glasses.
Really?
No, Velma was a little geeky, bookwormish.
Yeah.
With the page boy haircut and the big round glasses, and that
sweater
was
puppies.
That was yeah.
Well, in this one,
and she was chubby, and
that's kind of what I'm into. So
now Josie and the Pussycats, different story.
Well, in this version of Scooby-Doo, I saw, let's just say Shaggy and Fred had fun too. It was like, that's when I went, okay, that's enough.
So his name wasn't Shaggy, it was Shagging.
Yeah.
No, I would like to see I didn't mind the first live action one with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard and all them.
That one.
That was a pretty good.
It wasn't, the first one. The first one wasn't too bad. Or was it the second one where they had Scrappy Doo in it?
That was the second one.
That, I will say, even though I didn't care a whole lot for the second one, quality wise, compared to the first one, I was a little let down. The Scrappy Doo part was funny, but I would love to see.
Ruined it for me.
Well, they basically did it because everybody hated Scrappy Doo. It's like Jar Jar Binks.
Deservedly so, yes.
And that was the reason why they did it. It's like get the jab in. I would love to see a live action Scooby Doo that's true to the 1969, 1970 Scooby Doo, Where Are You? And have them come out and fight the Creeper and the Kooky Space Kook and all those ones that
the second
became
one was
popular.
more in that vein, though.
Yep.
They found something to turn all of their monsters to life, and that was more. The second one was more in the vein of the cartoon, where the first one wasn't bad. My favorite part was Scrappy being the villain, because I hate Scrappy.
So that was the first one?
First one was Scrappy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was at the end, but
They unmasked Rowan Atkinson, and it's Scrappy.
I would love to see Chris Carter, who did the X-Files, do a live-action version of Scooby-Doo, and do it in that same kind of vein that the X-Files was in.
Mm-hmm. That's
That would be
almost
an interesting take.
That's almost what came out with the one I was telling folks about. And Bill, the first tie-in to the original series, the first monster they had to defeat was a minor 49er from the cartoon.
I'll take your word for that because I can't remember the first. I mean, I remember the first episode. I just don't remember which one it was.
No, I'm talking about the live action thing.
Oh, the live action one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
the first episode, the monster was the Black Knight. I was there. I saw it first run.
That was the amusement park? No, wait, no.
No. The amusement park was the
Robot.
red-eyed robot. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the first one was what was it? Bad Night for a Black Knight or something like that. I can't remember the episode title, but the first villain that they had to face was the Black Knight. The person that disappeared that drew them into it was Professor Hyde White. Hey, my memory is not completely blank, but
I'm impressed that you remembered Hyde White,
yes.
because strangely enough, like, I was a big Scooby-Doo fan when I was a kid. Like, Velma's actual name was Velma Dace Dinkley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shaggy, I can't remember his last name. Something important though. But
First name was like Norval.
Norval,
he's from a very rich family.
Norville Roberts or Richards?
Rogers.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Rogers. Rogers.
And they actually pay him a stipend to stay away from the family.
Yeah. So, Dan, you are right. I'm looking at the episodes now. Episode 1 from September 13th, 1969 was What a Night for a Night. That had the Black Knight. Then you had A Clue for Scooby-Doo, Hassle in the Castle, Mind Your Own Business, Decoy for a Dog Napper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the guy that ran the marionettes.
The marionettes, yeah.
What the Hex is Going On? Never Ape and Ape Man, Foul Play in Fun Land. That's the one that you were talking about, the robots.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage Rage, and of course, Bedlam in the Big Top with that evil looking clown.
Coin.
Yeah.
Yes.
But my
I do
favorite
remember
one is
things,
Mhm.
Okay, well, if you remember things, who's Jonas Grumpy?
Jonas Grumby?
I
Yeah.
know who he is.
That was the principal from Riverdale High School in the Archie comics?
No.
No.
His friend was Willie. Well, not friend, but actually his employee was named Willie.
Hmm.
3-hour tour.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. I needed
Skipper!
the extra clue, Rich. Okay, just out of curiosity's sake, who was the principal of Riverdale High School in the Archie cartoon?
Never watched it, so I don't know.
Mr. Weatherdale.
Weatherby.
Weatherby?
Weatherby. Weatherby. That's right. Riverdale is where they went to school. Weatherby.
What was
And then what was the old lady's name?
Hathaway
Um,
or Hathcock or something like that. Or,
yeah. No, Jane Hathaway's on Beverly Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies, yeah.
But people don't realize it was the Archies and the Groovy Ghoulies where we got Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Rich and
Yeah.
Really,
I
oh my
remember
God.
that.
and Josie and the Pussycats.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Which was a knockoff of Scooby Doo.
Now, if they do a live action Scooby Doo and keep it true to form to Scooby Doo, Where Are You? They're going to have to do a halfway through the movie or episode, whatever it's going to be, with TV show, movie, whatever.
Do the hallway
They'll have
chase
to
scene.
a chase scene that's got to have Davy Jones singing some music or it was always some song, and that all started, I think, in the season 2, the 1970s season.
Look it up on YouTube, Bill.
The principal was Mr. Waldo Weatherby.
Hmm.
The one teacher was Miss Geraldine Grundy.
Grundy, there you go.
Then you had
Miss Grundy. Spooky Space Kook.
And apparently, John wants to lay shipwrecked and comatose sipping fresh mango juice.
Yeah.
that actually sounds pretty damn good. His big deal was getting enough money to retire to Fiji, and he was going to take that cute navigator with him.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just started watching it again on Crackle just the other day.
What was the cute navigator's name?
Christine Kachansky.
Kachansky, yes, indeed.
And then, of course, Peterson ends up becoming Mr. Weasley, Mr. Weasley in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Became who in Harry Potter?
So the guy that played Peterson, who I think was in maybe an episode, ends up years later being cast as the father of the Weasley clan in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, him.
Arthur Weasley.
Yep.
I saw that. I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I showed that to Misty, and she's like, it is. I'm like, that's why I said it.
As my wife says, there's only 8 actors in England and 5 actresses, and they show up in everything.
And
I'm saying most of them are playing American superheroes.
yeah.
No. Most of them have now been either knighted or, what do you call that when it's a woman?
She's a woman.
Dame?
Dane, yes, indeed. And never mind. I'm not going. Pardon me, Rod.
But didn't
Judy
they?
Dench.
Yeah, Danger Dench.
I'll be right back.
Oh,
Didn't
see,
they?
I even set Joe Dog off with that name.
I,
He'll be in
I
his
was
bunk.
30 minutes, he'll come back from down the hall. Yeah.
Uh, didn't they reboot, but not reboot, but refresh Red Dwarf recently for a few episodes? So
They
they seem
did
to
not
remember the
reboot
cast coming back.
Now, I'm aware that they had done some more stuff with the original cast. I mean, the core four.
That's why I said it wasn't, a reboot, but
Yeah, they did bring them back and do brand new episodes. It was a brand new series, but it was a very limited number of episodes, or it
Yeah.
might have been just one.
Goodness gracious.
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
I have never seen an episode of Red Dwarf. I'm one of those people.
The
Oh,
actress that played Kowalski or whatever her name was, is
Kaczynski.
named Chloe Arnett. Hold on
Cute little
just
guy.
a minute.
While John's doing that, I just want to take a second to
yeah.
say goodnight to everybody.
Mercy.
I can see why.
Why you'd want to go to Fiji with her?
Or anywhere else she wanted to go. Yes.
Yes. Her name is Yes, ma'am.
Well, Bill, you were saying goodnight. And,
Yes, I've had a very long day, and I'm going to have a very early morning, and then we just found out that my 13-year-old niece will indeed be going to another football game because we got into the playoffs. So
hey,
be doing that tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow's going to be another very long day, but at least it's going to be a very nice day. And if Oakwood stays alive, we'll be doing it over again next Sunday. And if not, then wasn't meant to be. But go ahead and say goodnight to all of you, and we will see you all next Thursday.
Good luck to you, niece, man.
And so, via con Dios, everybody.
Later.
good night.
Hasta la bye-bye.
We are so easily
So I get to be
distracted.
Crichton, is what you're saying.
What?
I get to be Crichton.
No, you get to be Holly.
Holly's the ship's computer?
Yes.
Crichton was the android.
Yep.
Like my people say, 01100011100011100000. Don't stand around talking when danger. Damn it! Favorite line. Granted, it's a paraphrase. I don't remember it exactly because the last time I saw that episode was 30 years ago. But
Definitely.
that's always been hands down one of my favorite scenes in Red Dwarf. Period.
Did they not credit the lyrics to the theme song to Elvis? Or am I misremembering?
You would ask me that question right after I shut down IMDb's Red Dwarf page.
Elvis Presley sings the Red Dwarf theme. However, that is clearly not really Elvis. Dwayne Dibley, the Duke of Dork.
Yeah.
I'm
They
trying,
don't have him
guys.
listed under soundtrack, so
The stuff he was
it
on
was
near
just,
the end.
it was he didn't sing it. They credit him with writing the lyrics. That was the impression that I got.
oh,
I
cold
could be totally
outside,
wrong.
no sign of gravity, we're all alone, more or less.
Yeah, it does sound kind of strange for an Elvis, but maybe it was just another joke. Don't know. Um, okay, look up one of the celebrity episodes of Can't Cook, Won't Cook with the Red Dwarf crew. Ainsley Harriet, I do believe, cooking show. I think I've got
Can't
that
smeg,
one.
won't smeg, tongue tied fandom.
Mhm.
Said can't smeg, won't smeg.
I think that's well, that
As
could be it, but
as the host of Can't Cook, Won't Cook teaches the teams how to cook a curry with Christine Kolczynski as a taste test judge. The show was won by Rimmer and Dwayne.
yep, that sounds like it's the one.
I'm reading the trivia on the IMDb page for Red Dwarf,
Uh-huh.
and these are hilarious. At a convention in Seattle, Robert Llewellyn and Craig Charles were asked a question by an 11-year-old boy about the word smeg and what the word meant. And Robin Llewellyn and Craig Charles didn't answer the question. They got on their knees and crawled off the stage.
uh, yes, I laugh because I have read the definition of that.
Let's see.
There was a U.S. politician that qualified as the living example of the meaning of that word.
According to an interview of Patrick Stewart, the first time he saw the program, he thought it was a ripoff of Star Trek Next Generation. Was about to call his lawyer. Says, but he continued watching and became a fan of the show.
Believe me, I don't think how anybody could. I don't see how anybody could think that was a ripoff of Star Trek.
Well, I'm gonna rip you a Star Trek story.
Oh dear.
The next Star Trek movie will be Next Generation recast.
Ooh.
And the producer director is
JJ.
so more garbage.
Yeah.
Not to insult the cast, but
I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm going to read it anyway. Alan Rickman was the first choice for the part of Rimmer, while Alfred Molina was considered for Lister.
now that would have been a combination. Snape and Doc Ock? Yeah.
Or Snively Whiplash.
Now that's a show that I'd like to see done live action. The Wacky
it was
Racers.
Wacky Racers.
Apparently, Alan Rickman was the first choice for Rimmer.
Now there have been 2 failed American pilots for Red Dwarf. Evidently, Hollywood does not understand British humor.
No.
Yeah, Crichton and I want to say Cat. Were the same actors from the British for at least one of them.
The only one was Robert Llewellyn. He was the only member of the British cast to appear in the failed American pilot Red Dwarf in 1992.
There were 2. Both failed. I have never seen the second one. I've only seen the first one. It.
Oh, here we go. The main riff of the theme music was inspired by David Bowie's song Loving the Alien from his 1984 album Tonight. Composer
Weird.
Howard Goodall is known to be a Bowie fan and was involved in the David Bowie Is exhibition at Victoria and Albert's Museum.
Okay. I'll have to give that a wow. I didn't know that at all.
Me neither. Just found that out.
Signs in the hallways of Red Dwarf are in English and Esperanto.
Makes sense, actually.
Makes a lot of sense.
If you're gonna have to invent a language, why not use one that's already been invented? Oh Lord. The actor who played Rimmer the Hologram was
Chris Berry.
Chris Berry. He was the butler for what's her name in the Tomb Raider.
Angelina Jolie
Mm-hmm.
as her Lara Croft, yeah.
Laura Croft. Thank you. That was what he was, her butler in the at least the first Tomb Raider movie.
According to Doug Naylor, he originally wanted an actor similar to Christopher Lloyd or Stephen Wright for the part of Lister. Stephen Wright is one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, I love him.
I think it worked out best the way that it actually happened.
Christopher Lloyd's pretty good too. But
Well,
Stephen Wright,
but
he does that deadpan delivery. And one of my favorite ones was he talked about he came home drunk one night and accidentally put his car key in his apartment door and the building started up. So he drove around the block a few times. Then he parked the apartment building on the freeway, ran out of the front porch and yelled at all the cars that went by, "Get off my driveway!"
Yeah, Stephen Wright had some, bless his soul, had some of the best one-liners out there.
mm-hmm.
Just out of nowhere stuff. I mean, just,
Yeah, I created the cordless extension cord.
Oh, that reminds me of the Ethernet water hose. No, Bluetooth water hose. excuse me.
Bluetooth water nozzle. I saw that one.
Yeah.
The guy 3D printed a Bluetooth water nozzle for his computer, and it was kind of funny. He showed him he adapted it to the water hose, plugged the YouTube cord, plugged it, and you saw water start coming out of his laptop computer.
Rob, we're not making any promises. Let me tell you right now.
Well, good night, Rob. I am headed that way in about 30 minutes from now. I'll be there too.
I'm headed this way. Wait, let me head this way.
Let's stop while you're ahead.
Yes, you were part of it, Rich. We saw you. It's on video. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's on the internet. You can't erase it. No, if I
No, I'm behaving because it's not the green room.
Yes, this is my
Good night,
mantra.
Rob.
This is not the green room. This is not the green room. This is not the green room. Ah, thank goodness. Hello, Ace.
I'm Zardoz. Yes, that's very geeky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good grief. Ah, dying here.
Why are you dying?
I just can't stay awake. I'm up full of Dan.
Well, the only benefit to that is that John and I both have off, so we can go ahead and close the show if you're not off. Then you have to wake up at 3 in the morning and go, is Last Man Standing still running? Is Dan awake? After last night? Yeah.
Rich, no joke. Phone calls to go close Dan's show because he's fell asleep. I mean, they just abandoned him.
Well, they did try and wake me up, and not realizing that effort is useless. When I go to sleep, I'm asleep. Nuclear weapons couldn't wake me up.
And Lord
Although-
knows you tried them.
Yes, I know. Although Donna and Renmillion have been known to just whisper in my ears, and I wake up.
He fell asleep on the show one night. We were trying to wake him up. So we went and found audio clips of just everything. Civil defense alarms, the alarm from the Purge warning alarm, just the
Red
siren,
alert from Star Trek.
the red alert from Star Trek, the alarm that they have on the CRAM air defense system that they use in Iraq and such.
Add stun gun sound and the ripping of duct tape. Those two sounds can usually get most people to, especially if they're alone in a room and all of a sudden they hear one of those two kick off.
We tried artillery, machine guns, just any sound we could find, and just nothing.
And there's many times Dan has woke up and read this.
Yeah, Ace has got the right idea. Yeah, and it's quite simple. You just have to have that magic touch.
We've even had R. Lee Army yelling at him.
Oh, like I'm going to pay attention to that. I've been to high school. I don't drill sergeants, amateurs. Oh Lord! And the weird thing is, back when I was a kid, had to wake up, go to school. My dad would just open the bedroom door, flip the light on, go, Dan, time to go to school. Walk out. No raised voice or anything. Boom, I'm up out of bed. Yeah. Yeah, all Donna said was, wake up, Dan. And that was all it took. Yeah. It's amazing what a calm, soothing female voice can do to my psyche.
And there was that one night that neither Donna nor, was it Anna?
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them could get you to wake up, and we're just like, wow, he's out.
Yeah, really. Not tonight, dear. I'm having some serious sleep deprivation. So
It was about an hour and a half, 2 hours later that you woke back up.
Mm-hmm. And there was another night we were on, and I think I was out for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I go, oh, wow, y'all still here? And everybody else was still there carrying on the conversation. I woke up and started contributing. my retirement is going to be a lot of naps interspersed by. Oh shit! Is it time to do that again?
No, Dan, you only do that for the first couple of years. Then you look for excuses to go outside.
I need an excuse.
Well, when the AC's cranked up and it's feeling good and it's damn near 100 outside, you're thinking,
What is this AC you cryptically mentioned? After 45 years in the factory, I can't have air conditioning. I will die if it gets under 78 degrees.
I start sweating at 40 degrees, not the age of 40. That's 40 degrees.
It could go either way. You realize that deadline actually means something. Oh.
Yeah, my dad's biological father was fresh off the boat from Sweden, and my dad grew up in northern Wisconsin. And one sister is 9 years older, the other sister is 4 years older, and they used to like to lock Richie outside in the middle of winter wearing just a bathing suit when it was up to my chest. I learned to like the cold very fast.
Yeah, might as well shovel the damn sidewalk while I'm out here. Oh. Thank you, Ace.
that's the damn truth. That needs to be a bumper sticker.
It might already be, actually.
Hey, two guys walk into a bar. You figure the second one would have seen it.
Yeah. Two guys walk into a bar, the third one ducks. I've gained a lot of wisdom from bumper stickers over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's foolproof to a sufficiently talented fool. That explains my job in a nutshell.
I've got to say,
If I'm in the voice of reason, we're in trouble.
this is true. I've got to admit, I developed a very, very favorite bumper sticker back in high school. And this was early 70s. So you can imagine what history was at that time. And I threatened for years. I had a copy of the thing and still had not put it on anything. But once Reagan was elected, I went for it. Bumper sticker read, "Richard Nixon, now more than ever." He was dead, couldn't screw anything up.
So, bumper stickers. My best friend, still my best friend to this day, my best friend since we were 12. I had purchased a bunch of bumper stickers, probably at like Spencer's or Hot Topic or someplace like that. We were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and at the end, I was using the facilities. Coming out to my car, everyone was gathered right behind my car. I did not notice that he had put a bumper sticker on my car. The way I park and everything at the house, I come at my car from the front, so I still hadn't seen the back of my car. For 3 weeks, I drove around with this bumper sticker on the back of my car, not knowing it was there because I never approached my car from the rear. another friend and I are at Steak and Shake, and car's parked out the window, and we look over and we're like, when did a bumper sticker get put on my car? And then we go out and we look at the bumper sticker and it says porn. It's cheaper than dating. Almost a month, 3 weeks. I was driving around without the back of my car. I didn't notice. So I started talking about like, I have no idea who the hell did this. And my best friend Jeff was like, dude, I put that on your car 3 weeks ago. I'm like, you son of a...
I remember one car I had for almost a decade. It had a Rocky Horror Picture Show bumper sticker on it. People would ask me what it was. It was that early. Let there be lips.
Michael O'Brieney was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where to stand.
On our heads.
Yeah, coffee breaks over. Everybody back on your heads. Oh.
So much fun, so much wrongness at Rocky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it exactly so much fun. Went one showing where they actually had people in costume in front of the movie screen miming the parts, and I've got to say that the girl that was playing Columbia was screen accurate, especially in the floor show scene.
I was part of a cast that ended up doing that. After like a month of attending, I got sucked into the cast, so I ended up playing the criminologist.
I got banned from the theater.
Yeah,
Well,
super soakers are not squirt bottles, all right?
no. Let's see. There was about 40 pounds of rice dumped on one person. The cards for sorrow, cards for pain. We blanked the screen. We had so many cards in the air, the screen went blank.
Oh, Lord.
Looked like a bomb went off after that show.
Now, some of my friends and I used to back when we had 3 shifts at the factory. Second shift would end at 11 o'clock, and sometimes it would be our last night of the shift was Friday night or Saturday night. And we would all hop in the car, might be 3, maybe 4 cars to hold all of us, drive 90 miles to Atlanta, and go to the one theater that was showing Rocky Horror every weekend as a midnight movie, and the, what was it, 1 o'clock? Yeah, 1 o'clock show. And we would sit through at least one entire show. And basically, my friends did not know what Rocky Horror was the first time, but they thought it was enormous fun after that. And we actually added to the shout outs to the screen occasionally. And there was one, I came back like several months after I had done my usual improv shout out. smart-ass remark that I am becoming well known for, and the rest of the people had adopted it into the callback script. And I felt so special. It was actually intelligent enough for folks to go, hey, that's a good idea. Let's say that. Oh dear.
Rocky Horror saved my life, saved my mom's life, saved my dad's life. They went to a wedding. For some reason, after the wedding, they decided to go out for breakfast. They normally didn't. Me and my crew, after Rocky, decided not to go out for breakfast, which was weird. My parents, when they came home, parked the car in the garage, and they had a load leveler pump on the station wagon. There was a slight oil leak, so my dad had sawdust down there to soak up the oil. The load leveler pump did not turn off, overheated, ignited the sawdust pile. I came home to, if I would have been home any earlier, I would have walked into a backdraft. So I'm walking down the driveway. I'm like, why does it smell like hot wiring? So I walk in the backyard to see if anything's going on back there. Come up, and I'm like, why is it oppressively hot? Open the garage door, and I just see smoke coming out and glowing embers, and I'm like, ah. So I had to run around back, pound it on my parents' sliding glass door. Dad's looking at me like, you're an idiot. What the hell are you doing? The garage is on fire, Dad. You might want to get out. And then I had to run in the house and save the ducks, too. So, And then we waited for the firefighters to get there.
It's amazing that incidents, totally random, can change a perfectly ordinary day into either sheer terror or excitement, depending on your point of view. This sounds
or
like a
sheer terror, and then excitement that you survived the sheer terror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely needed to change my drawers after that one. But if they hadn't gone out for breakfast, more of the house would have burnt. If I had gone out for breakfast, more of the house would have burnt. If I hadn't gone out at all, more of the house would have burnt, and my room was right next to the garage.
Yea, verily. Ooh, okay, it's all set up. No, I just clicked on Last Man Standing, going, oh, I did that.
Yeah, I take care of you, Dan. I got it ready to go.
No, I mean I'm ready to click the start broadcast button. I've got everything set up over there, and I didn't even remember that I had done that. And I probably didn't start until this show had actually started. So we're ready to go. Hey,
but
Mike Jimmy ought to wake up any minute now.
Yeah, I do want to throw out a programming note. Saturday, the What is HallowCon's show will have all our guests on at the same time.
Saturday? I thought you did that on Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesday. I sleep, brain work, not.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
It may not come back on for about 8 hours.
Some progressive maintenance.
Yeah.
With a pillow.
Yeah.
Hey, don't even joke. Don't even joke.
Hey, I discovered I'm a time traveler. Every time I lay down and close my eyes, I wake up 8 hours in the future.
With Donna standing
With that
there with a
joke,
pillow
I bet
going,
it was actually 8 hours in the past.
"Can I get away with this?"
Yeah, I got to be careful. My wife's violent. You missed it last Thursday night, did you, Rich?
No, I was there. That's why I was saying, you asked if there are witnesses. I'm like, no, sir. Nope. Witnesses are next.
Kabong!
I mean, slap shit out of me for no reason.
Oh, she had a reason.
I wonder how much a toy guitar would cost at Walmart. If we could find it at a thrift store or something. We just go around to all the thrift stores, buy all
Dollar Tree usually has the little tiny plastic ones with the little
No, I want a
cheesy
big one.
strings.
I want a big, heavy one, like metal studs in the end of it.
Okay, pawn shops.
We'll go around to all
Especially someplace where punk rock involved acoustic guitars.
We'll go around to the thrift shops in the area and buy up all the old cheapo toy plastic, acoustic guitars. Send them to Don. Put a sticker on each one of them. It says El Cabon.
And with that, I think it's time that we all start saying
El Cabon.
Yeah. And Rich, just so you know, I behaved, but I can't do it no more. I got to show my ass.
My wife's aunt has 2 donkeys, and she's like, "If I show you my ass," and then she'll point to the donkeys, and I'm just like, "Oh dear God."
Hey, my wife and I were out driving. We used to drive out to the country and all that. Pass a field of donkeys. I said, "Is that some of your relatives?" She looked at me and says, "Yeah, by marriage."
Oh, Lord.
And with that, let's say goodnight, everybody. We're going to wrap it up so Dan can start his show on time.
All right, folks. Thanks for having me.
Good night. Thanks for being here, Rich. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, John. And good night.
Slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.